Let's go talk because this could potentially be an incredible journey that you're going to be on. I'm ready for this YouTube stuff. I get so excited about talking about this that I just had to create a channel just to put it all out there for anybody who's looking to start this. So right off the bat, let me introduce myself. My name is Vic. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a veteran, and I've been running another YouTube channel and a podcast that has accumulated several thousands of subscribers in the last year and a half. And that channel also produces a good amount of income every single month. Now, I created this channel because I was getting some comments, some um, questions about starting a YouTube channel from my folks at my other channel. And I thought rather than mess with that algorithm on that channel, let me just start a whole nother channel here to talk about all this stuff because I do it all the time. Just about every day I'm here messing with something, either editing or recording or doing something. What better way to contribute to the YouTube community, to folks out there who want to create something than to share it all on this channel. So you might see me here looking off to the side a little bit. What I have is my outline of my notes. So usually when the video is about 2, 3 minutes and over, I will refer to my notes, my outline here. So you might see me looking back and forth. So this channel specifically is for folks who want to start YouTube and potentially are over 40 years old. I happen to be over 40 myself, so I wanted to contribute to that community. So why people over 40? Why specifically that? Well, that's a great question. Simply because you, my friend, have experience. You have been through some things. You have seen some things. You have maybe had a career or two. You have traveled to different places. Maybe you've been in relationships or you have experienced something significantly life altering, or maybe you have a cool hobby that you just want to share with the world. Okay. It could be a number of different things. It could be a, a combination of all these things. All right. The point here is that you have a story to tell, and that is interesting. Okay. Now, you may think nobody wants to hear about me and what I like to do. Well, I'd venture to say that you may not be completely right about that. There are a lot of folks posting on YouTube right now that talk about things like knitting or reading or car repair or even videos about having a boring life. And this stuff really resonates with people. So, a few things that I wanted to bring up, and I'm going to do some minimal editing here because I want it to be as authentic as possible. I wanted to answer a couple things that maybe I would have had questions about with starting a YouTube channel and recording videos and posting them up and how I get everything done and all that stuff. So, some very baseline questions to help you out. All right. So, what if you're afraid to mess up? I was afraid to mess up when I first started. Everything had to be perfect. I'll get into that in a second. But I'll tell you, it's okay to be afraid to mess up. All right. Because you probably will. And through the magic of recording, using your camera or whatever you have, you can edit things on the back end. Something like this, or like this, or like this, whatever the case may be. You can edit things, you can chop them up, you can change your audio, you can change your video, you can change the colors, all that good stuff on the back end. So please don't be afraid to mess up. When I first started, it was nothing but uhs and ums and uhs and ums. And through hearing myself and working through all of that, I was able to kind of get less of that on camera, on video. Still a work in progress as always. But even if you decide you don't want to edit, it comes off as the authentic you. And honestly, that's something that's huge on YouTube right now. So, what if you're not great on camera? Well, that's fine. A lot of people aren't great on camera at first. I know I'm still a work in progress myself. I happen to be an introvert, or what they call an otrovert, right? I just read about this recently on some psychology website, but essentially, I'm an introvert. Going out and being around a lot of people tire me out. It wears on my battery. I'm good here where I am. I like going out. However, you won't really catch me recording while I'm outside too much. I mean, I sometimes I'm getting used to kind of doing that a little bit, but for the most part, I've got my office set up right here, my desk, the camera, microphones, and all that good stuff. So I learned to be somewhat comfortable in speaking to people, in front of people, to an audience, to a camera, especially, right? At first, this was weird. Like, where do I look? Do I look here? Do I look at the little camera up top? The first camera I started out with was really my phone. So I'd look at my face and not at the actual uh, camera, so it looked a little awkward. But I've learned through some trial and error, through some successes and failures, and things that I've noticed about myself that, hey, maybe I need to look here versus always looking here versus always looking here, here, whatever. So it's not always going to be perfect when you first start. Okay. And that's the beauty of this game. Okay. You can only go up from here, from where you start. All right. So, what if you don't have a nice camera or nice lenses or microphones or whatever? So I'm glad we're talking about this now, okay? Because you don't need any of that stuff. You can acquire all that stuff as you go along. Maybe you want to switch something out, maybe you sell it and then upgrade your stuff later. But you don't need any of that stuff, okay? All you really need are three things. You need the camera on your phone, you need a YouTube account, and you need a reason. All right. A reason to want to make something, to talk about something, or it could be nothing. That could be your reason. I started with a phone, an iPhone. Okay. I think I had an iPhone maybe 12 or 13 when I first started. Then I got a 14, and then, I don't really feel the need to have the newest thing. So here I am with the 14 Pro, which works fine for me, but you'll find that the quality of the video and the audio are very good for YouTube. I'll show you right here. So when I first started out, I just used my phone. That's all I had on me. I carried it everywhere I went. I didn't need any extra microphones. I thought this was just fine. And it really is for the most part. I mean, unless you want exceptional quality right off the bat, but really, you don't really need that. You can start off with what you've got. This is the selfie camera here, and some folks like to record with the back. I like to know that I have myself in frame, so this is what I started out with. Now, like I said, you can acquire better gear in the future, but right now it's about pressing that little red button and putting yourself out there. And if you want better quality video in the future, we can talk a little bit about this in another video, in a future video here, about all the goodies and stuff that you can get your hands on to potentially record better video. But for now, the iPhone camera or whatever kind of camera or phone you have works just fine. So, how do we even start all this? Well, that is an excellent question. Do you like to go out for walks? Do you like to travel? Are you a specialist in anything, or do you like something in particular, like a hobby? Do you have a craft or anything? Think about what you like to do. Think about things that you do on a daily basis. What do you enjoy doing when you go out? What do you enjoy doing when you're just at home? Do you like knitting, crocheting, watching TV, a certain show maybe? You can build a YouTube channel from any of these things. It's that simple because there's folks out there who like the same things and they're gonna watch what you're putting out there. So come up with a topic, write down a few notes on it, and hold up your camera and let it roll. So, what if I forget what I'm talking about? All right, if you're anything like me, I'm forgetting. I forgot what I had for dinner yesterday. All right. Half the time I forget what I'm doing or what I'm about to say, which is why I do keep notes on hand. Like I said, I have my outline right here and I have my notes right here that I write about before I get into any kind of YouTube video. So you can use talking points, you can use note cards. In the future, you can even get yourself a nice fancy teleprompter. I used to have one, felt like I didn't really need it. So here I am with the camera, and that's completely fine. So, what happens after you press record? Well, you might feel a little nervous, you might feel a little anxious, and your voice might sound different.
When you hear your voice on a recording, it sounds a little bit different than you hear it in your own head, right?
You're going to probably hear some uhs and ums there, and you're going to chop it up and the editing. Your body might be a little stiff. So that's exactly how I felt at first. I experienced all these things at first. And I'll tell you, with practice, it mostly goes away. I find that I reviewed my videos, I cut out the things that I didn't like, left the things that I did like, and I just went ahead and posted it. Just tried it out. Now, one thing I was trying to get over when I first started was being completely perfect. As we know, nothing is ever going to be perfect. So I spent much of the first 50 videos or so trying to get all my edits exactly right, sync up the music exactly right. And looking back on it now, it really didn't matter because I really just wanted to put the authentic me out there for folks to connect with. So I'd say don't strive for perfection because nothing is ever going to be perfect. You want to strive for authenticity. So let's talk about after you press record, your first video. My first video, this first video. The first video is never going to do great, or for the most part, it really doesn't do well for the majority of these channels. I don't expect that this video that I'm making right now is going to be seen much. It's not going to get a lot of clicks, a lot of views, or anything like that, since it's the first video I'm publishing. Maybe 10 videos in, I'm still a work in progress. It probably won't do great either, right? But the thing is consistency. I have to keep going at it. I have to keep learning from the past video that I've done and maybe cut things out or add things that I wish I would have added on the last video. So it's always a work in progress. But once you establish that consistent rhythm of publishing your content, say maybe once a week, choose a day of the week, so that way your audience knows that you're going to be back around that time. Choose that consistency, and you'll find that you'll start building a following, building subscribers from there. It may take more than 10, 20 videos, but you'll get it. So, next up, choose how you want to record. Do you want to sit in a studio? Do you have an office? Do you have a desk? Maybe you want to be out in the living room. Maybe you would just want to record in your bedroom. That's fine. In a closet. I started out in my garage, and I'll show you a quick picture here. It was just me and my co-host when we first started a podcast, and I was sitting there next to my classic vehicle in the garage, just recording in the corner of the garage. It was cold as hell, but it is what it is. That's what I had. That's the quiet area where I could find around my house, away from the kids, away from the dog, and that's kind of where I spend a lot of my time recording and editing. So choose where you want to be. Do you want to be outside walking and talking? Do you want to be in a studio? How do you want to do these things? If you're going to be outside, sometimes maybe the microphone on the iPhone won't be the best. So you have to invest in another little microphone like this little guy right here. So you might have to acquire some gear, but for the most part, if it's not too windy outside, your iPhone will do just fine. So just figure out where you want to be and where you want the most of your recordings to happen. And ultimately, I'd say have fun with it. This is fun. Don't worry about all the comments and all that stuff right now. You can turn off comments if you want on your YouTube channels. You don't have to see them, whatever. But it's just so fun to connect with like-minded folks, people within a certain community who have the same hobbies, the same interests, and you're making these videos. You're showing them a piece of your life. It's so rewarding when you post that video and you start to connect with a community. I'm telling you from experience, you're going to love it. So, with that, all we have to do right now is one thing: press record. I'll see you in my next video.